Hello again, Hill family. My name's Jay. Welcome back to your daily reset. Today we're going to go through a quick little 10-minute mobility session for our legs. So a lot of running and double unders in some workouts lately. So we're going to tackle the calves and our ankles and feet a little bit here today to just give you a little bit of time for yourself. So for today, we're going to need either a foam roller or what I grabbed as kind of a home substitute is just an empty wine bottle. So it works just as well. Proven to be more fun as well, and honestly they do dig into our muscles really well. So if you've got a foam roller, great. If you don't, or like I just kind of wanted to use a wine bottle today too, so I grabbed that. So we're going to start with that, and then we'll get into some stretches here that you won't need anything else for. So kombucha bottles work well as well, like any sort of glass bottle can just kind of take our body weight. So we're going to smash out our back of our ankles and up into our calf. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set that wine bottle sideways, or you'd have your foam roller. We'll start down right behind our ankle. You can either with your other leg, you can just keep that foot flat on the floor to kind of take a little bit of your body weight, or you can cross that ankle over the top to put a little bit more pressure on the back of your calf. And what we're going to do here as well is, if we can handle it, we're going to press into the floor, lift our hips up, and we can slowly start to work our way up towards our calf. When we find any like really tight spots, what I like to do is then pause. You can set your hips down and roll a little bit side to side over that muscle. So our calf takes quite a bit of a beating during double unders and running, so that's why we're trying to give it a little bit of attention here, or store some of that muscle function. So we're going to just spend about a minute here per leg. So we'll slowly take it all the way up towards the knee. If you went with the wine bottle like I did, you're probably already noticing that these things are pretty dang effective. Again, this whole sequence can still be done with that other foot flat on the floor, if you'd like to as well. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides. If you still want more time on that first leg, by all means, feel free to continue giving that calf some love. Otherwise, we'll switch. Again, we'll start down at the ankle. Other foot can stay on the floor, or we can go ahead and cross it over and lift our hips. Again, if that side-to-side motion feels really good to you, you can do that. You can also kind of pump your toes up towards your face and then push toes down away from you. Once we get up behind that knee on that side, we can go ahead and come on off our wine bottle or our foam roller, set it to the side, and we're going to come into just a little bit of a stretching sequence here. So if we've got a mat that we're on, we can come onto that, or can just use the floor. But we're going to start in a down dog position. We're going to hold that for a little bit just to get a nice little bit of quality time in that. So I'm going to set up with my hands a little bit outside my shoulder width. And then I'm going to tuck my toes under, but feet are still about hip width distance apart. They don't have to be super close together. I'm going to lift my hips up towards the ceiling. And knees can stay bent here, so knees don't have to be totally locked out. Knees can stay bent pretty generously. We can pedal out the feet for a little bit just to get some blood flowing into our calves. Alright, and then let's go ahead, we'll actually stop pedaling the feet. So we'll kind of think about trying to drop both heels down towards the floor. I'm going to bend my knees just that little bit here again, and then I'm going to think about pushing my chest through towards my feet. So also beautiful little back opener as well. And then gonna challenge our breath, trying to pull some deep breaths into our belly. And then as we breathe out, just as big of a breath out as we can take. Do that 4 more times. Deep breath in through the nose, fill up into the belly. Open mouth and just breathe out. And 3 more. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Big breath in, fill up. And out, let it go. 1 more deep breath in, fill up. And open mouth, exhale, just let it all go. All right, as we come into our last pose here, we can drop the knees to get into it, but then we're gonna bring our right leg first up and outside of my right hand. So I'm set up in that position, and then I'm gonna keep my left toes tucked under. That left knee can stay on the ground if we already feel like a pretty big stretch in that hamstring of that front leg and through the front of our hip on that back leg. Or we can pick up that back knee and then think about pushing our heel back towards the back of our mat or the wall behind us. If we want to stay up on hands, we can as well. If we want to drop down to forearms, that is also an option. Again, just getting into the hamstring on that front leg. And you can keep some movement here. Does not have to be like totally still. And I like to think about like taking little circles with my hips. And again, still a really nice time to try to focus on taking some deep breaths. If you're doing these right after a workout, really good to just kind of settle our whole central nervous system down with those deep breaths, kind of get ourselves back to our normal state. And then after about a minute, if we came down to our forearms, let's come on back to our hands. We can drop that knee, bring that leg back behind us. Let's bring the left foot up. Again, outside of that left hand. We'll tuck the right toes underneath. We can lift that back knee if we did so on the other side. And same thing, if you want to drop down to forearms, let's go ahead and do that. We'll spend another about minute here. Alright, then let's go ahead and set that back knee down. We can come on back to our hands. We can bring that knee back behind us. That is all I've got for you today, guys. Awesome work. Thank you for joining me. If you want to spend a little bit more time with that wine bottle or your foam roller, either rolling out calves or drinking some wine, feel free. But good work on the workout today, and we will see you back again soon for your daily reset.